when I'm out here, I kind of find myself asking myself the question, you know, who am I running this race for anyways? Is it for all those people who are supporting us, or is it for myself, or is it, you know, is it fulfill a dream that our family had had? And say at some point it's got to be all of those things. That's it. All right. If you're scratched right now, then I don't even know if I'd even try it again. All that time and money and time away from the kids, and it'd be a pretty big blow to not making any further than this.
Up with the race leaders is Lance Mackey. He stops at Finger Lake just long enough to grab a hay bale and food, then heads back out. About an hour later, Martin Boozer pulls in for a quick stop and a snack for the dogs.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
As the sun peeks out behind the mountains, it's officially day 2 of the Iditarod. On every racer's mind is the unseasonably warm weather.
You know, I can't help but think that the heat of the early part of this race is not helping these coastal dogs at all. Those guys are coming straight out of the Arctic Circle. All they can do is go slow.
Kotzebue native and rookie racer Darren Nelson agrees.
Living up north where we're at, you know, on the coast, crazy winds, dogs will gain this undercoat and they acclimate. And then we show up and it's 30, 40 degrees and they're not used to it. Just like going to Hawaii and trying to run a marathon.
For now, Darren's strategy is to slow his team down as he and the other racers trek from Squentna to Finger Lake, then on to Rainy Pass, a distance of 30 miles. They'll deal with the warm air flowing over the flatlands. It's cause for concern.
The closer down to zero it is, the safer and the better these dogs are for running.
The vets are watching for symptoms of heat stroke, particularly vomiting, diarrhea, and dehydration.
Here we go.
They take no chances. At the first symptoms, the dogs are put on planes back to Anchorage for treatment. When the conditions are right, these amazing athletes can run 100 miles in a day and then wake up and do it again for weeks at a time.
There are animals in this world that go faster for a shorter period of time. There are animals that migrate farther. But no animal on Earth travels as much ground as fast as an Iditarod sled dog.
On this Iditarod trail, they can burn up to 10,000 calories. That's like me eating 50 Big Macs every single day. This is how much fuel they need.
One of the top dogs of sled dog breeding is Martin Boozer. This 4-time Iditarod winner holds the race record for fastest time. 8 days, 22 hours, 46 minutes, set in 2002. Martin runs his operation out of Happy Trails Kennel in Big Lake, Alaska. After decades of dog sled racing, he's become an expert breeder.
Atta girls. Still are learning that it's not a pulling event as much as it is a running event. We've hooked up gangline computers to the dogs, and we realized that this is about a 5-pound pull. This is just a little tug on a sleeve is about a 5-pound pull. And that's what these guys apply sustainedly for hour after hour. But most of the time they're almost running effortless to the point where they're literally only tapping on their harness. So we're breeding for speed way more than for pulling power. It's a very common occurrence for people to come in my kennel and say, where are the real dogs? And I say, what do you mean the real dogs? They say, well, those Siberians, you know. And I always tell them, well, sumo wrestlers don't make good marathon runners.
Unlike the purebred Siberian Huskies, these dogs are all mutt. Husky, Malamute, Lab are just some of the mix.
A big part of the drive comes off the rear. What we're looking for is a low tail set. You can see the dog's tail starts here, almost under its belt, under its back. A slow dog has a pelvis that's tilted straight, and the tail starts here. So a pelvis tilt where the dog maximizes their forward reach and the extension is a desired quality to have.
These are some of the next generation of racers. You can see the wheels back there. They kind of look like giant hamster wheels. They're just exercise wheels for the puppies. We don't make them get in them. They just get in however they want.
The love of running is written into a sled dog's DNA.
Sometimes we have to lock them up because they just keep running and running and won't stop.
Over the last 2 days, they have covered 121 miles from the start at Willow to the checkpoint at Finger Lake. Some of the front runners, Lance Mackey, Martin Boozer, Jeff King among them, have opted to blow through for resting spots further up the trail.
So I was glad to see so many teams sitting in Finger Lake. So clearly the people who had passed me, very few had gone through.
Others have chosen Finger Lake as a comfortable stopover. Diabetic musher Bruce Linton has no choice. If he doesn't stop here, he could die.
I can tell my blood sugar's a little low, so I gotta take care of myself in a minute.
He may be near diabetic shock, but like any good musher, Bruce feeds his dogs first.
You don't want me below 70. This is 44, so it's not good. There's not enough sugar in my blood for my brain to function, so well, I can't concentrate. I can't really think, so it makes you very jittery, nervous, and generally a few minutes later I get these white splotches in my eyes, so I can't even see. It can be a little scary if you think about it. If I lose my team and I don't happen to have food on me, I could die. I guess I've become a role model to diabetics, which I never thought I would ever be, but I tell people, I tell diabetic kids that if I can run a dog sled across the state of 1,150 miles, and you can get off the couch and you can do anything a non-diabetic can. I'm proof of that.
Dee Dee Johnroe comes off the trail at Finger Lake having survived a musher's worst nightmare.
Yikes. These guys are popped me off in a soft part of the trail. It flipped the sled on its side and threw me off. Oof. Well, I just got in one of those big soft wallows and got bumped sideways. And when I did that, I lost the team.
It's the one thing you don't want to happen on the Iditarod Trail, a sled crash that turns into a runaway dog team.
When I lost my team, it was because we were going so fast. And there again, the trail had really been rutted by snow machines, badly, deep. And so what had happened is, as we were speeding along them, and the length of my sled runners, it just porpoised me right off. Just jammed the sled and porpoised me right off of them, and they were gone like a shot.
Losing sled dogs in the Alaska wilderness is like losing a lifeboat in a storm-tossed sea.
The best case scenario is what happened with me, which was about a mile to 2 miles, the sled jammed in another one of those, and they were all just milling around. So I was able to pick them up.
Iditarod rookie Darren Nelson and his dogs are plagued by the heat and snow conditions, but he still manages to arrive in Finger Lake in 57th place.
You know, they got a lot of snow here recently, and it's just crazy. Everybody's going slow.
Now he's having trouble with his homemade sled.
So I need to move my track. Here? Just too much bouncing around, and it's just really hard to keep my foot on it.
With his sled adjusted, Darren has a new plan of attack.
My plan is to do some short runs and keep them perky. Short run, short rest, short run, short rest. Get back that, make it fun for them.
You guys ready?
Dee Dee Johnroe heads out of Finger Lake. She stays only long enough to leave something very valuable behind.